quick comment with the link on everything else. And then I'll be with you guys in a second, of course. Delay 1 second. And the new link is up. Save. And the new link is to the Facebook group. Check. And the new group is to the Patreon group. As soon as the save button works. And saved. And then last but not least, the last piece of it. Cool. And I did that. No one's here yet, though, so I don't feel too bad. Cool. All right. I'm here. I'm Travis, the sound effects guy. Hey, Terry. Awesome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm here. I'm Travis doing sound effects for a show called The White Vault. We are an audio drama. It is a lot of fun. We're basically creating sounds that are. This should actually be better. We're basically creating sounds that will be in the episode number 7, season 2, coming out in just a couple weeks. So I'm actually ahead of schedule for once, because this week we're doing an interview episode instead of the regularly scheduled ones, because I get a holiday sort of quasi break, a break episode of only an hour in length. So today we've got some fun things. We've got some gunplay, some paper play, some eating, and of course lots of moving, because that's some of the immersive realism is hearing the sounds of motion as we go along our journey to Svalbard. So that is where we are. We are in the Arctic. We are freezing our butts off. There was just a cave in, I believe, or something like that. And that's the context for what you need in this sort of stuff. Episodes have already come out. There's no spoilers in that. So there we are. And hope you're having a good one, Terry. All right, let's see. Loading up the episode and getting my headset on and some sound effects stuff. First, we're starting off with some motion sounds, people playing with coats, packs, that sort of thing, and a little bit of moving closer toward other people. The scene is approximately, well, it can't be that long. That's crazy. It appears to be a 6-minute scene, but I'm going to do it in pieces. So this is like a pretty big deal. So I'm not going to do so many metal sounds right now. I have with me a blanket, a sleeping bag, which has a pretty good sound to it. I'm going to lower the mic so it picks up the sleeping bag sounds more than my mouth sounds. And we're going to start waking people up. Okay. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Am I armed on the right track? That's always an important question. Yes, I am indeed recording in the right spot too. And I'm actually just going to move that track closer to the other ones so I can see the other things happening. To clarify, using my amazing share screen custom phone thing, you can kind of see what I'm doing. And I'm moving my arm track so I can actually see the other tracks of like wind and sound. And there's some people talking down there. But we're not going to be too actually I probably should be too concerned with them, because a lot of the motions are in sync with them talking. So I'm moving my sound effects bar down here, and glad you're having a good weekend, Terry. And there we have it. That was my cheating share screen button. Okay, here we go. So motion sounds of people wrestling and adjusting coats and packs and waking up and stuff. Oh, actually, this is kind of tricky because we're actually fumbling with the microphone itself during this part. So I have to do it again and be a little bit closer and louder to the mic in the beginning, because they reference the microphone as being a physical object in someone's hands. Every time they do that, I like to remind people with like bumping sounds and fumbling and fidgeting. And that's where I'm going to stop. So that's the main character recorded now for the first uh, minute and a half of the story. And now I have a secondary character who I've got to do that for. This is the slightly dull part. This is the background character who's getting closer. Motion sounds too. All right, so I've moved it to the second track. I've armed the second track, and we're going to record more of the same rustle of people with coats, etc. But this is actually a different person, so it's kind of like key moments of rustling during a larger scene because it's a scene with three people in a cave, confined quarters, and doing stuff. Here we go. Oh, I should actually record it. And it should be most of the stuff that I need. It's mostly just key things when someone moves closer to someone else, or I've got a note that someone's waking up. I've got another one that someone moves closer to the microphone to look at something. Um, a little bit of clamor. Wrestling is people adjust coats and packs. And because there is some pack stuff involved, I won't do metal. There's no metal in this one. People are still waking up. So as things will continue along the scene, I'll add more metal into the scene. But right now, we have a piece of paper that we have to play with. Uh, they're playing with a map found in an earlier episode, or a piece of paper they think might be a map, or it might just be a drawing, or it could be some kid's drawing that was dropped down here. We're not really sure what it is, but it's a piece of paper, and I need to record that piece of paper because they're playing with it right now. And by playing with it, I mean they're just interacting physically in the scene with that piece of paper. So I'm arming a completely new track, starting at my indicator. I know, mystery drawing. So I have a little kitchen behind me, and it's where all my sound things are going to come from today. So we're starting with household devices. Now, I was thinking there were different types of paper out there. What type of paper is this strange mystery drawing thing? So I was thinking maybe wrapping paper, but as you can hear, it's a little bit too heavy. You can feel the weight of like every time I touch it, it's got this sort of really bubbly crinkle sound that I can't quite describe in another way. No, not quite the new studio. The new studio will be upstairs. It's just currently covered in dust and stuff, and it's nowhere near set up. I just ripped out the floor actually, so we're waiting on that. But so this is too crinkly, and I thought this would look a lot better than me sitting in a plastic chair somewhere. So it's kind of nicer. I do have some bills, so I was going to use these to sound more like. You can hear it's a lighter sound. Doesn't have any plastic on it, which is good because I don't think there would be plastic on this mysterious piece of paper. But I kind of like the sound of this one better, so I'm going to go with the open envelope. This was actually a loving envelope from my family with a card inside, so that's probably why it sounds better. Here we go. So we play with a map for about a minute, or a drawing or whatever it is. They're going to point at it and they're going to fold it carefully. Oh, it's folded, so I have to unfold it because it's folded. That sounds legit. Okay. Yes, I will fold the map slash. I have it labeled as map, even though it's probably not a map. She doesn't tell me the script. Here we go. Boom. I heard the boom in the recording sound. I got too many of the same crinkle sound, so I have to do it again. Drawing, here we go. And just sort of a bad sound. You get some of those, and it takes a couple takes to get a good sound with a prop. So I want the perfect sound. So I'm going to lower the microphone a little bit to get more of a belly. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Oh, and I did forget one thing. They're wearing gloves, aren't they? So I need to put on a set of gloves while I'm playing with the paper. I'm going to grab some gloves, back in a flash. The plot thickens. I don't have gloves, but I do have dog mittens. So they'll be playing with the paper with dog mittens, and no one will be the wiser because it's the same material. All right, dog mittens we go. Oh, I can't hit the button because I don't have a finger. Okay, here we go. Let's try this. The beginning of that sounded really good. The sliding sounds sound great, but the tapping sounds don't sound very good at all. So I'm going to try to use my share screen because it doesn't do share screen so well. There we go. All right. So I'm literally just going to I'm moving it along the track because it's too early. Cool. And now I need more tapping sounds. The paper has been carefully unfolded. Now I need to do some tapping sounds, but it needs to be backed on something. Thank you, ZC Bni. Glad you're enjoying this as well. So I gotta put this, make sure it's sort of quasi braced. Yeah, cutting board. The cutting board. Yeah, cutting board. So it's not going anywhere. That's good. And then I'll do mitten touches. Instead, this is like someone's big fat finger just going as I hit the microphone. Here I go. That's basically what I'm doing. I'm playing with a piece of paper. And now the visualization of it showed really loud noises. So I'm just going to listen to those. Nope, it's just me tapping it 3 times, and 3 times seems to have been excessive. Actually, no, it sounds really good. Weird. Okay. I thought 3 would be excessive because I'm always like, haha, I will pat you on the back. Or like, and I'm always conscious of how many times I tap something. So that's just a personal quirk. Moving past personal quirks, uh, there's a little bit more paper sound before it gets put away. So we're playing with dog mittens on paper to recreate a child's drawing, a map, or something. We don't really know. Here we go. Okay, actually, I'm realizing right now I don't want to use the mittens. I have a lot of brushing sounds. I need more paper sounds. So here we go, because the first layer was a lot of really good brushing sounds. I just dropped some, maybe. Okay, here we go. Also, I need some tea. All right, here we go. Wrinkle sounds. You're standing when you're sitting in the metro after a Hoover phonic concert and randomly tune into the live stream. Oh, awesome. Hey, Oh, it's really neat. Well, I hope you're enjoying the concert. And yeah, I can't compete with that, but I do have paper and a box cutter for later, but not too soon. Good to have you here, though. All right, here we go. Some paper sounds because we have the brushing sounds from earlier, and this is kind of what we're picking up now. Is that papery goodness? And now that I folded it, it has a really bad sound that I don't want. Switching over to the bill, much better. This is a bill that, as opposed to a actual envelope. And that last bit of pop was too loud. I could even see it on the thing, but that should be a couple more parts. That was a bad crinkle sound. Do one more just for them putting away the piece of paper at minute mark, about a minute and a half, putting away the paper, which is why I have this one. So actually having two pieces of paper proved to be useful. That was a good sound, and it actually synced up with the previous one. Okay, we finished the paper. The paper is done for the scene. Yay! Okay, next up we have a stomach growl. My actual stomach would love to growl right now, but it's not being very vocal. Hmm, I think I have a recording of that somewhere of a previous stomach growl that I actually recorded. So I'll just insert that later rather than trying to punch myself in the gut and jump up and down and drink a Coke and try and make stomach noises. Um, after overpower. This next part is going to be the sound of an old knife can style opener pressing down on a tin can. And I'm not even joking. I wish I was, but I'm not. Okay, let's see. So they're supposed to be eating something they have. Yeah, I was going for the AMSR thing. I've never actually listened to one. I don't know if that's what it sounds like, but I don't have a knife can opener, but I do have a knife and I have a can opener and I have a can of peaches. And this episode will be like peachful. I never had a canned peach in my life, but by golly, they're hungry and they have canned peaches. And when life gives you peaches, it's there will be some interesting reactions, I'm sure. I hope I like peaches. This won't turn out like the weird key lime yogurt last time where I actually like almost died and you can hear it in the bloopers, which I haven't posted yet. I need to do that. Mental note, post the bloopers. Okay. So I need to get that. It's actually a pop can even, which is kind of lame. So this is going to totally mangle it by hearing that sound, but we'll make do. I need that initial sound of a really old can of peaches from 1994 or however old these things are. Maybe even World War II. All right. I'm going to listen to the scene once for timing. It is a 4-second can opening. Okay, so I have the pacing. It's approximately 6 seconds of him opening it, probably a sniff, probably the rest of the opening, and then that'll be it. And my dog is looking at me because he wants peaches. Okay, this isn't anything you can eat. No, no, this oh, no. Everyone, this is Ezo. He's wondering what's happening because Ezo curious. All right, here we go. Back to the peaches. No, this isn't for you. Okay. I can open this can and not spill it everywhere on top of the sleeping bag and the little carpet we have going on there in our kitchen. I can't have him make any noise during this or it will pick up. And then like Rosa recorded somewhere and she had like seagulls. So she's talking and I have to like constantly be on the lookout for seagulls for this episode. Just only this episode and only one scene for some reason. Anyway, here we go. I'm going to do it. Bull crap. Okay, the lid doesn't even allow you to do it because it's not shaped properly, which means I have to cheat. Okay, I'm gonna cheat. Let's see what I can do. So I'm gonna open this the traditional way, and then I'm going to can open a different can of food. This is where our Patreon money goes to all the food. All right. Ready. Brace for the sound. Okay, I am not a fan of canned peaches, it seems, but that's what I've got. All right, no, 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 you're you can't be a fan of the peaches. Sorry, little guy. Place, place. Good boy. Yes, good boy. Place. Keep going. Scoot your boot. All right. He speaks English. So I don't like peaches. They're very, very, very sweet, it seems, because they're in this sort of sugar substance. I'd probably like it without the sugar. He's looking at me like I'm keeping him from this. Okay, so I've got the pop sound that I wanted. Man, this is gonna suck. Okay. Now last thing to do is record the sound of a can opener at work, which hopefully this will do. The paper is gonna go back, and the can opener is right here. Yeah, that's the sound I want. All right, here we go. Motion sounds number 2 is armed. We're gonna start opening up the can. Cool. That was the sound of his. Oh, now this is actually his food. He has pumpkin, so I'm gonna give him some pumpkin. I'll be right back because he's hungry, unlike me. After smelling those peaches. All right, Izo, come. All right, Izo, pumpkin. Right there. For you. It's for you. Pumpkin puree. All right. The food is now away. So to clarify, you guys are on top of the mini fridge. That's why there's motion every time. Put them in milk. Yeah, I don't. I hadn't had canned peaches before today, but I'm not looking forward to it. There's like another thing that we got too, because they have some power bars. Like the power bars are probably good. And that'll be really good sounds, and that's really easy to eat. And she specified oddly in the script, like none of the power bars that are solid, like none of the granola ones. It's not a granola power bar, the ones you like. So I'll work through the good stuff, through the bad stuff. So I'm gonna listen to the scene real quick and see the timing on the canned peaches. It sounds really good. Altogether, there's 4 layers of peach sound opening. I didn't put in a sniff, but I could, because I suspect that's how we would know it's peaches. Cool. All right. So that's all the sounds. Put the peaches in milk. The peaches in milk? I don't. Uh, that it wouldn't sound like me stabbing them out of a can is really the difficulty. So we have next talking about food. They look at the food. They clamor to see the food. So yeah, I'm going to do the motion sounds last because that's what I want to do. The order of things should be the sounds, and then I'll do motion around the sound effects that I create because it'll be easier to do than trying to eat in sequence with brushing sounds. I can see the sound noises from my mouth because they'll register as chomps that I can visually see on a radar or on my digital audio workspace. And I can record easier to those than I can to like me just sort of brushing against a mic. I will eat them. No worry, Terry. They are going to get eaten and they won't go to waste, unfortunately. Uh, and I should have had a. How long have I been doing sound effects? You love listening to podcasts and you've always wondered how much was done specifically for the show and how much was taken from preset libraries. I've been doing sound effects since Liberty, actually, Legend of the Boar Knight, which is 2013, 2014. So about 4 years. And I like doing sound effects. An old friend of mine was Vincent Casaro, Vinny Casaro. He did the autopsy scene in Independence Day, for instance, the movie, not the holiday. And he would always talk about how much he really enjoyed doing sound. And he got me kind of down that path inadvertently. I went down music for a while. That's how I learned about how to capture sound better. But he got me really interested into basically creating sound effects, and they're really cool. A couple things we do use preset libraries for certain things that just don't make sense. For instance, I'll stand. I can adjust. It's an adjustable microphone, and I'm just like hunched over, like, oh, what's happening here? Okay, so um, we use a lot of library stuff as well within the White Vault and other shows that we do. I have a bag in my pocket. Anyway, distracted easily. So you'll hear like wind is a really hard one to record. So I bought and paid some dollars under not too expensive for like wind sounds for when you're inside and you want sounds of wind from the inside, or you want gusts of wind from the outside. If you go outside with a microphone, you're just going to get a bunch of feedback like the this microphone doesn't do feedback so well, but I can't really bring it outside. But we pay for some, we get others from freesound.org. It is a great site, a wonderful resource, a lot of Creative Commons stuff there. We are not above going to pay sites. We're not above going to free sites. We make dark deals and packs. The polar bear sounds in previous episodes were actual polar bears. I searched the BBC. I got in touch with National Geographic. Nat Geo didn't have it. No one had it except the Polar Bear Institute, which did. They gave us one of those pieces, and the other pieces were created by an unfortunate gentleman who had his camera destroyed in on some website that I got in touch with at an event. I met a guy at an event. He's like, I think I do have a polar bear sound. I'm like, what? And long story, too long. Sorry. That's the answer of what my involvement of sound effects. I love them. Um, I have a disorder whereby my visual memory is gone and I don't have any visual imagination and I'm face blind and I can't remember things about visuals, but I'm really good with sound. I may have something close to pitch perfect. So I hear in color, as it were, a little bit different than some people. I don't know if that helps me at all, but I would like to think that maybe that gives me some sort of edge. And then I'm not just some crazy guy in our kitchen playing with paper and about to eat sweet peaches with a really sharp knife because it's the only metal silverware we have because we have all of our silverware is still in boxes somewhere except for this knife which I'm gonna cut a peach with. Okay, I'm not gonna cut, I'm just gonna eat the peach because it's the metal sound that I have. All right, we're gonna skip the clamoring to see the peaches. Graham gave me some really good sniffle sounds, but they all sounded a little bit too intense. So I'm going to record one right now for him. That's too loud. I want it to be. Now I'll attribute that to him. And I need to fade out the silence on either end so I don't overlap the. Good. Okay. Now I need to play with the metal can for a second. I'm going to pour out some of the liquid just to save myself from possible accidents. That might take away some of the sound, though. I'm going to keep it. All right, here we go. I'm going to play with this, and then they start eating it. What does the actual script say? Why is he cutting them? Okay, he's cutting. All right. Gonna cut a peach. Here we go. Oh no, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. Okay. Inner me. I can do this. Oh, I'm on the wrong one. I need to arm sound effects 1. I have different labeled tracks. One of them is called motion sounds. It's recording specifically motion sounds, not actual sound effects or Foley. I'm now armed on sound effects 1. Here we go. Whoa, did I put... No, I screwed up. I put a bunch of sound effects on Jonas's Icelandic track, which is probably why they sound so Icelandic. So I will steal a sound effects layer from up there and move it down here in the area where I'm working so I can see all the things. Man, I really wish I could share a screen with you guys. I'm so sorry. It would be a little bit cooler. You get to see some things without having to use my phone's reflectors. Okay, here we go. Graham says some stuff. He smells it, but we're going to handle this. Handling sounds. Yeah, those are good sounds. It doesn't give the metal effect. You just hear a brush. It sounds like I could be playing with my stubble even. So I need a different sound. How can I accomplish that with this? How can I capture that this is metal? Oh, I know what I need to do. There's a label. The label is what's creating that paper sound. So I need to not spill this and somehow get the label off. Because the label is what's making the sound that I don't want. Oh, that's such a good sound, but not for today. But I'll remember this in my head for a future date when we need tearing paper sounds that sound really good. And I'm being very careful again because I'm doing it on camera and also trying not to spill peach juice on our floor. Just pieces of paper, which make a lot of noise. Okay. Yeah, my ring catching the little ridges sounds a lot more metal. So now you're aware that they're playing with metal stuff instead of a piece of paper or a jacket or their stubble. You're like, okay, they're playing with the can. Because that's what everyone who listens to the show thinks. Oh, are they playing with the can or is that a guy scratching his jacket? I don't know. Here we go. Oh, I didn't cut it. I was supposed to cut it. I don't know. The knife's supposed to go in. That's what I was supposed to do. All right. Sound effect layer number 4. Here we go. Armed and ready. Here's the stabbing. When do they start eating, though? Is it an immediate? As someone... Okay, this is a very short story. There's a guy who steals packages from all the houses in our neighborhood. I'm going to pick some up. I got to pick up our package because it was just delivered. Okay. Sorry. To To clarify, there's someone who steals packages in our neighborhood. So if there's a package delivered, it has to you have to run out and grab it and pull it inside before someone else does. Because I already caught him trying to steal it once, but they were too quick in their car. All right, here we go. Metallic clink. He stabs the peaches. Yeah, he's eating. Okay, so Jonas is going to eat some peaches. Spoilers. Jonas eats peaches in these episodes. Yeah, it really does suck. It's like a green van, so they probably get like a lot of boxes. They do it early in the morning, so and late at night too. I'm told. Here we go with the stabbing. I can do this. I can do this. Was there any sound to that? There was no sound at all to that. It was the most quiet thing ever. It was like there was nothing. So I'm gonna have to cheat. Sorry, White Vault people. You're gonna learn the dark truth. I have to cheat and stab something else because it just doesn't make a sound. I could stab grapes. They make a sound. Maybe they're more likely, or an orange. An orange, yeah, that might be too textury, but that was no sound whatsoever on that. So let's see what we can stab. I just want to eat these. Okay, I'm not going to eat these. We're going to see. Yeah, they will. Grapes will be a lot better tasting, but they'll give me the wrong munch sound, but they'll give me a good cut sound. So let's try this. No barking. Important. Test. Another problem could be that I don't have it armed on a very loud layer. So I'm going to move it to a louder space and just see what it sounded like. Still almost inaudible, but it was more audible than the alternative. Okay, that's what I want. So sliced in half, cut along the hardest ridge, which is right here. It will produce a sound that will be audible for people listening to the podcast. Here we go. Cool. I think one of those was good. Again, I'm going to listen to it and edit the only one stab in. Hey, I've got one. I found a cutting sound that worked. Supposed to be a metallic clink as well, because he actually cuts into the can too. And then early eat peaches, unfortunately. I've been procrastinating for as long as I could. Here we go. This is the moment of truth. And finally, actually eating peaches. Okay. Um, the short answer of this is I don't feel comfortable trying to skewer a piece into my mouth with the knife facing my face. So I'm going to, that was the sounds of the metal getting hit by the knife. So that's pretty realistic. It's pretty metal. And I think this will actually call for a fork. So I'll get my silent fork. And I have the silent fork. It will not make noises. This is going to be unfun, but that's okay. That's what we do. Let's make things sound good. Okay. Readying self to eat peaches. And I don't know like what the consistency of a peach is supposed to be after it's been like quasi liquefied, but I'm sure it's not this. But here we go. Eating peaches into a microphone 101. And the hot tea is behind me to cleanse the palate. Green tea for those who care. Okay. I've eaten half a can of peaches. And it was not bad. The key lime was worse. Um, I have to attribute it to different characters. So not now, but later, so you understand what's happening. I'm going to cut this up, the eating track, and like take certain bites and attribute them to certain characters. Like the end is just Graham hogging away at like, but eats last. So that's that sort of thing. Because I was talking over certain parts of dialogue, and the can sounds, the extra can sounds are really beneficial. I did the same with that, cut it up across different characters. But since they're not all eating just one thing, I also have to eat a power bar of sorts. So today's power bar is hemp bar. No idea what it is. Now that I realize I'm in a state where marijuana is legal, I need to make sure that it's not going to do anything. It doesn't have any weird stuff in it. No, it's just made of dates and nectar and berries and stuff. Okay, cool. It's not like a THC bar. Cool. All right. This is not going to get too amusing, but it'll still be interesting. The bar appears. I have a note at 2:24:22. Okay. They reference the power bar, then they eat the power bar. Track number, motion sounds. Actually, this would be sound effects 1. Here we go. After a belch. And I actually screwed up the timing on that. That needs to happen before, a little bit earlier. And here we go. Eating a power bar. Your second package has arrived. I'll be back in a flash. There was no package, Izo. That was just our neighbors. I was eating like a champ. I was eating like a champ. It was good. Let's see what we got. We're in the white vault. The dog barks. Rosa says, "What was that?" It was good timing on his end, but you won't ever hear it. It's okay. Another bite of, I think there's 2 more bites. She eats more at 24:40. She talks, gives a monologue. I got close. I need to finish the scene. This is it. Please. Please. Good boy. All right, we'll continue the eating sounds. And one more for Graham. As my dog continues barking. Maybe there is a package at the same time as my neighbor's going crazy. I'll check that. And I run back up the stairs while trying to eat food. Into a microphone. He's up. Quiet. We got this. We got this. You're a good boy. No, it's not a package. It's someone's car parked. It's okay. No barking. Okay. I will finish this power bar because it's actually kind of okay. It's not good. I wouldn't buy it again, but it's okay. Sure enough, like watch these guys like sponsor us or something in the future. They're like, okay, it's a pretty okay power bar. But for right now, it's an okay power bar. I'm not sure I'd get it in this flavor anyway. Last bite for Graham Kasner. This is like when you tell a child to eat. Okay, one for Rosa. Okay, one for Jonas. All right, now what about for Graham? Because he has to eat as well. That's it. I've wrapped it. Wrapped the scene. Oh, no, I didn't wrap the scene. I have to drop the tin can, but it has food in it. This is lame. I have to have an empty tin can somewhere. I'll be right back. To the recycling. Come. Who's come? It's up for a bit. that's just silly. Okay, our recycling day was 2 days ago. That's why I don't have an empty can. Anyway, moving forward, there's a can that gets dropped. I can empty this can later and come back to drop the can. They reach a door. Oh, they leave. And there's a sound of a shotgun being picked up. Oh, that's awkward. Okay, shotgun being picked up. I'll figure out the can thing later. And cleansing the palate because I'm about to consume not a shotgun. Okay, here we go. Cool. That sounded kind of like a shotgun being picked up. Put the peaches in a bowl. That's smart thinking there. I will do that. I actually tried to pause the stream while I was doing. I was going to put the peaches in a can because I instinctively hit the pause button. Okay. Can. You know, I could put it in a jar, and then if Caitlin really liked them, she could have them later. Izzo, come in. Come on. Come on. Run in. Come on. No, I'm not chasing you. I'm supposed to. It was a trick. Come inside. It's cold. All right, have fun. Have fun outside. I'll let you in after the next take. What have I got? Need to find a corresponding lid for the peaches. We found the lid. It's just not a very good sound. So, cans sound the best. What's the most difficult sound you've had to try to capture? Maybe the funniest. That's an easy sort of thing. The sound of someone eating key lime pie is the most difficult sound I've had to try to capture because it is in fact not very tasty. And then when I thought I had overcome the flavor, I swallowed incorrectly and then started choking. So I nearly died. That's probably the funniest or most difficult sound to capture. Alternatively, hello, Cassie. I don't know what you're doing awake at this crazy hour in Germany, or maybe it's morning for you. But hello, all the way over there in Bavaria. Hope you're having a good one. Otherwise, oh, it's only 1 a.m. Oh, it's not so bad. Okay. The other most difficult sound in my list of difficult sounds, I was trying to capture the Atlantic Ocean from Iceland. So I got my little handy recorder, and the picture of this cover thing is me out there trying not to get pulled away by the waves, which will kill you. Like there are shipwrecks on the beach that the waves have just put onto the beach. Like, here, have this back, humanity. And not getting taken out by those waves, but also trying to capture the sounds of those waves while not trying to pick up the oppressive wind at the same time. That was pretty difficult. And it wound up only having about maybe 20 seconds of usable audio from, I would say, but maybe 5 minutes of audio, me just sitting there freezing my butt off with a microphone. So that's probably, like, anything involving wind is just unfun for me. So that's why I'll pay a few dollars here or there for wind sounds or water sounds. And oh, he was just in the window. I don't know if you caught him, but he was just like looking at me. He was like, "Let me in." I'll let him in real quick, and then we'll get back to some fun sound recordings. He's out. Come in. He's a good boy. He's out. Come on. kicked you. Okay, the dog has been captured. The last package that I was waiting for has arrived at the house. The dog has been captured and all that stuff is done. So I'm now ready to record sound again, now that no one's going to steal my package from my mom for Christmas. Isa, that's not for you. Don't eat it. Maybe I am. All right, we have gotten through the scene of eating peaches. We know how to drop a can. I've been experimenting with different sounds in front of you to find out what sounds the best. I've got a couple of different wooden surfaces on here, and I would have to say the best surface appears to be a cardboard box with one hand on the cardboard box to reduce the impact sound on the box. So all you're going to hear is the sound of the can hitting something, not the sound of the box receiving the hit, if that makes sense. So to clarify, if you punch sand, there's the thwump of your hand hitting it. Then there's the sound of like the sand hitting the ground after, because you've sprayed sand in the air from your amazing punch. So that's kind of the same principle here in theory. We're trying not to capture the sound of the box impacting itself. We just want the sound of the can sounding most like a can. So I'm going to adjust the camera so you can see the box. Yes. So the box is now visible, and I can sort of see the screen. And we're going to drop a can in a box. I sort of lost my ASMR voice because I've been... Don't wake her. Who am I not waking? Caitlin is in a different state, so I'm pretty good there. Don't wake Karina. Da, 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 da. Karina. Da, 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 da. Okay, and I'm trying to use my mouse to find the place where cool. Okay, can is going to get dropped. I'm just going to keep dropping it till I get a good sound, because it's difficult to time it perfectly with the character, and I'd rather edit it in post. I believe one of those was good. Okay. Gonna now have to edit the microphone. Yeah. Not edit, move the microphone. I can use words. So let's hear which one sounds the best. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drops of a can onto a box. Going to use my magical webcam share screen button, because one doesn't exist for this, I don't think. I do not have the ability to share screens. Okay, Izo says hi. So that's me. And that's that. So here are the 5. Just listening to them soloed out. The first 2 were a miss. Last one sounds accidental. Yeah, the first couple sounded too intentional. It sounded like I was trying to drop a can really hard in front of somebody. So moving the can. And now we're ready for more motion sounds, because we could never have too many of those. We did the first half of the scene. I've now eaten with peaches. I need to make a note to edit the peaches. Pan the peaches to a character. Tracks 1 and 2. Typing into the digital audio workspace. And yeah, okay, cool. So this should just be motion sounds, straight up motion sounds, which are easy to do. Monitoring. I'm now hearing the sounds that I'm making better. Check. Good. It's time to play the role of. I think you want to use the front camera. You wanted to use the front camera. Oh, I don't know which front camera. I'm confused now. On the phone, I'm not sure. No, I'm trying to do like a screen share, and it's just being really difficult. So I do this when I'm doing like screen share, so I can be like, "Oh, here's my screen share," and I can cheat. Oh, all you saw was my hand? No. Oh, shucks. Okay. Yeah, this is what I was trying to do. That's really dumb of me. There we go. Much better. That's what I was trying to show you all the time. This little green area. Anyway, I'm so egotistical. I'm trying to be in all the shots, just sneaking myself in as much as I can. Pretty soon I'll be a character on the White Vault, that wily American. But no, that's not going to happen. We're not putting Americans in the show. You could put TeamViewer on your phone and show that. Well, it's on my computer though. I can't figure out how to TeamView it through YouTube's tutorial thingy. Pop-out chat. Nah. YouTube thing, chatty chatness doesn't allow me to cheat it. No, I don't want to type an emoji. Leave me alone. I don't want to say anything. No. Half my screen is now emojis. Okay, if I type an emoji, will you go away? No. There we go. They're away now. The same way you did, but instead of camera, use your team viewer. I will learn how to do that because it would involve stopping the stream to start the stream again. And I'm just too lazy right now because I want to finish this beautiful scene before moving on to scene 2, which is also that's gonna be a lot of fun. That's pretty stupid scene. Here we go. Sound effects, people eating and talking about eating and cutting things open with a knife and not stabbing themselves in the face while eating peaches, which are actually grapes, or cutting grapes, while at the same time eating a granola bar midway through. That's not the wrong texture. Here we go. So that was one character's motion sounds. So I need to attribute it before I forget. Before I forget, moving them to him. And I should also do the cool camera thing that you guys just showed me. Yes, selfie mode. So here's the track right here. Uh, and I'm syncing it auditorily in line with his footsteps way up here. So as he walks away, the motion sounds walk away. A little bit sooner. Cool. There we go. That worked. No, this isn't the same thing I used at the live show. This is my actual recording interface. So it's Mixcraft. It's smarter, better, faster, etc. The one I used for our live show was an iPad. It doesn't record. Oh, jacket? No, that's not the same jacket. It should be. My jacket is somewhere in storage. I haven't seen it. This is actually a sleeping bag because I live in a basement. So that's our wonderful sleeping bag. And going back to the next character, moving because not everyone's moving in the scene. Some of us are closer to cameras than others. And now we've got eating sounds for Rosa de la Torre. Spoilers, she eats. I have to quickly erase the boof. We had a dog go boof. And finishing up the rest of the scene, I think it's another 30 seconds. Okay, and I screwed something up. So there's actually some action that takes place here. Rosa steps a little bit further away from the mic, and I need to fade that. I also want to add some motion sounds because Graham effing Kasner shows up, and he's a loud guy, and he's going to move into the scene and be kind of noisy. Motion sounds number 6. Putting in a new spot. This is now motion sounds 6, aka main character. I will attribute the eating sounds to that one. And I'm going to move my most recent motion sounds to motion sounds 1. And this new one is now ready to go. So here is Graham Kasner sitting down and eating like a champ. Oh, what's she eating though? Let's see. Rosa is eating a mixture of the canned peaches and also the power bar that we just. Oh, actually, it's a spoiler. No, it's not. It's just a power bar, but probably better than the one that I had, especially because she's got that hunger vision where it's like, oh, it's really good because I'm really hungry. Yeah, I'll have another recording thing where there might be more eating sounds with less fun things in the future on this show or others. I will not spoil that, but that'll be really fun if we get to do that live. I might not be allowed to because it's too spoiler filled. All right. Eating sounds. Yes, him sitting down. And we're in the last 25 seconds of the scene as Graham Kasner. Okay, that was some stuff at the end that I had to account for. Moving sound effects to a new sound effect layer because there was, for some reason, my sound effects are improperly put on the wrong track. I'm moving those to a different one so my motion sounds don't get upset because they're quite motional. Got it. They're now on a different track. We now have the motion sounds that just recorded on their own thing. And I need to record one last thing, which is the sounds of someone moving away at a high speed. Wrestling match, Travis versus the sleeping bag. Who will win? Place your bets. It's the final one, the final countdown. And then I should be able to defeat the sleeping bag and get on to funner things. Here we go. Cool. And that's done. To show you guys what I do after I record a track, this is what it looks like. This is the one that I'm recording right now. I'm fading it out because she or he or the other he are leaving away from the camera. So I want their motion sounds to sound like they're leaving the proximity. So I'm fading the volume represented by the horizontal line. Cool. Boom. It's faded. Scene wrapped. I need to add an ambience there. That's not a thing I can record with you guys. It's not quite fun. But I do have another episode entirely separate apart from this to record really quick, snappy sound effects for. So I'm going to save my changes because it's important to always save. And now I'm going to open a brand new session. As after it saves, we open our secret Patreon episode. Sleeping bag looks like it's in good shape. Travis might be. It does. That sleeping bag can go all night and you can sleep. It doesn't care. Okay, we are now at a different episode of The White Vault. Which I can't, well, I guess I can say it. I've announced it. This is The White Alt. It's the secret, stupid story that we've worked on that'll be released pretty soon. Actually, sooner than the episode I just worked on. What do we have on The White Alt? We have a clicking sound. What do we need? Mouse clicking noises. So we're going to start with a scene. This is fun story. It's Walter Heath at Outpost Freestead has made an extra recording, and this recording is a fun one. So this is his little extra recording bit. Starts with some clicking sounds because he's trying to load the file. Cool. I'm going to kill the last click because it was just too excessive. It was one click too many. I forgot how funny this was. Wow. Having Walter Heath be everybody is really goofy. Okay. So to clarify, David Alt is playing everyone's character in The White Alt. He is the voice of everyone, and it's ridiculous. Stupid, so stupid, and I love it. So first, I need some money because he's playing with money, and by he, I could be referring to anyone because they're all David. So let's find some money in my house. This is going to be the hardest thing to find. Someone asked what was really hard to find. Coinage. Okay. And it's still intact. That's good. All right. Travis, I need money. That's why people are Patreon. Guys, we need money. Okay. I found money. I found a penny, which isn't showing up in the white balance because my hand is too white because I'm apparently too white to be in the white vault. I have a penny. I found a 20. It looks like a 5 from that angle, but it's actually a 20. And I found a Safeway Club member card because there's some stuff that happens involving all these items. So we're going to find some things from Walter Heath. Things number 1, some pennies. Here we go. we're picking up some. Here we go. Doesn't sound good. It's just one. I'm going to use a cookie cutter to get more of like a metallic sound, because I think that'll sound much better than that. Okay, here we go. Cool. Got it. That was all the sounds I needed with money, which are really funny because they're silly money sounds. And right now, I'm adjusting the sound on all this just to make sure it's extra audible. I'm adjusting the volume in specific parts of the track by lifting these little dots. That was that. Oh, here's the stupid part. I have to find. I think this recording session will change my perception when listening to the shows. Being aware of the time and effort makes the shows really, really appreciate them much. Thank you. Too low, says Kessie. I don't know if it's my standards or the volume for that track. Yeah, that's only one scene too. Keep in mind, the whole thing we recorded over the last hour was less than 5 minutes in length, and I still have to edit it again after all the sounds go in. I have to pan the peaches and the clicks and the stuff. That's probably like another 10 minutes. It goes faster when I don't talk to people, but this is kind of more fun than me just kind of doing this by myself in a plastic chair with the dog who doesn't really care. So next up, we are finding Walter Heath's man card, and we're picking it up off the ground. Interesting sound effect, kind of like that. So let's see what we can do for Walter Heath's man card. Because it overlaps with the money, I'm going to give it its own track, arming it with the right microphone, making sure I'm monitoring the track so I can hear the sounds exactly as you are as I'm making them. And because we're picking it up as Graham Kasner, I've got that sound of him picking it up. So here we go. So we found Walter Heath's man card. Did they do anything with it? Okay, they play with it and look at it, and they say his picture looks really young and he had more hair. Okay, here we go. Okay. And I need now some real motion sounds because we're getting really emotional on this one. It's a 20-minute long episode. Why is this such a long, silly, goofy episode thing? Because I wrote it that stupid. Okay, so we've got some scary stuff happening. We hear a thing, we hear a telescope getting thrown off of a balcony, and then not Walter Heath, Graham Kasner's got his gun. Here we go. I forgot. There's a ghost in this episode. Okay. Well, I think that's most of it. Most of the initial sounds. Then we have. Oh, we do have to shoot the ghost. So we don't need sounds for the ghost because it's a ghost. It doesn't have motion sounds of getting shot. Actually, it's kind of funny because you're Karina. It's the ghost of Karina. It's a joke. Anyway, she comes back. This is so ridiculous. I want to share this with you, but I don't want to, but I do because it's really awkward. I don't know how I can share this without.
No, you can't walk in there. Karina? Yes, it is I, Karina Schumacher-Weiss, doctor and lover of zoology. I thought it was geology. That, yes. Well, I love zoology, despite being a geologist, so...
I don't know if you guys can hear that at all, but it's ridiculous. It's really stupid and fun. Anyway, moving on, we have the last part of the scene as well. Sorry, a separate scene because we've resolved. Oh, I have to end it because this is a handy cam. I have to end it with like a sound. That was perfect. I should have recorded that. But I didn't. Here we go. And we lost one listener because they're like, "Oh, that's too silly for me." Okay, here we go. And I'm fading all the sounds out to match my pickup, apparently. And now we have the final scene, which was recorded on the cell phone of Walter Heath. Now, Walter is not well dressed in this situation because he's been abandoned by his friends. So we're going to do fleece. I'm wearing fleece right now, so I'm just going to scratch my arms a bunch and look like I'm like groping my arms awkwardly. And my preemptive frustration motion sound was. Here we go. I had to just cut it in half and move it a little bit over. So that was a bunch of Walter Heath talking into a thing. The other one sounded better. I know it did, right? It's like when you don't touch the microphone, you're not recording, they sound really great. And you're like, I'm going to try and do it with it recorded on. It doesn't sound quite as good, but here we go. Speaking of which, it says I move the phone around. So I have to move the microphone, making noises with it. I've moved the sound thing over a little bit more, so the reception is now good. We now have motivational moving sounds. So he's motivating himself, he's getting hyped, he's getting himself into like, yeah, I can do this. Here we go. Cool. That is the motivational tapping of a paperclip, and they're sort of plasticky, so I'm cheating with the metal on a mirror. Uh, I don't know why there's teeth chattering sounds at the end, but there are teeth chattering sounds, so I will figure those out. Oh, teeth sounds. I need to grab teeth. I'll be right back. I have to grab a few teeth. So I'll find a few human teeth and I have to rattle them around for a second. Be right back. Night, Cassie. So this is my little thing of human teeth. I don't open it very often because, I mean, it's teeth. I don't know if you can see. There's teeth, but going to ask the guys in the House of Sunshine. I'm sure they have teeth I could. No, I've got teeth. I've got teeth. I've got actual human teeth in here. We're good. So I'm gonna just rattle this around because it's just it's a reference to teeth. Okay, so be more of a that, I think. Or maybe I should medium. See if there's a better medium. I'm gonna try it on wood. Teeth on wood. I don't have enough teeth, so I'm gonna grab some bones as well that are also the same sort of thing. So I'm gonna grab some bones from the skeleton upstairs. It'll take me approximately 10 seconds. Terry Willie redacted her good night to Kessie. And good night to Kessie. Work. All right. Grab some bones. Okay. Off to bed too. Night, friends. Hope you have a great one and hope you enjoyed the episodes that are coming up. And yeah, I'm going to record some teeth real quick. And then I think that's the end of the episode anyway. So that's about my time too. Um, Teeth sounds. That's the last one I've written to record. So it's probably it for me too. I think the sound of wood with teeth is the best. Not that anyone is playing the home game, but if you are, they just sound so much better on a piece of wood. Oh, I have to move the screen filter because it interferes with the perfection of the sound by blocking it. It's a very quiet sound. And I dropped a tooth. Ew, a bone. I dropped a bone. Cool. And I believe that should conclude. Yeah, those sounded. Okay, the teeth sound okay. Drop number 2 is the better of the 2 drops because I didn't drop it onto the floor. So, I don't even know that's gonna be picked up because it's so quiet in the scene because it's a loud scene. Even with me boosting it, it sounds kind of awkward. Night. Night, Boonhead. I remember the story behind that. Anyway, have a good one. And yes, enjoy Holland and hope you enjoyed your concert. Yeah, I don't know that the teeth sound is really gonna fit because it's a louder scene, and when you put, like, a really quiet thing into a scene that's loud and you boost it louder and louder and louder, it sounds like you have this awkwardly quiet thing that's trying to be loud. A good comparison would be if you had somebody whisper and their whisper was louder than everyone else yelling in the scene. It would be very obvious that this person whispering, "Hi, this is me whispering," is like it's improperly mixed or something. So people will it's jarring is what it is. So I'm not doing the teeth sound. I'm going to take it out, sadly. I thought it would be really cool and fun, but guess not. So the last bits. What is the ending of this episode? I even brought all the belts out just in case there's. The end of the episode is a sacrifice. They laugh. It's creepy. Motion sound. So just one last motion sound to go with it. And here we go. That last cut one that went was probably what I'm going to use. And I need to sync it up with the other sound. Cool. Done. Boom. And the white alt is ready for, in theory, mixing. So I'll get that off to Brandon Strader to get it to you guys by Christmas. Ha 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 ha. And I've got like 3 more scenes for White Vault number 7 to go on my end. So we'll see what I can accomplish tonight. Hope you have a great one. Hope you have a great evening. Hope this is kind of fun. Eating peaches and playing with box cutters and uh, pennies and bitcoins and blankets. But it's been fun for me. And I have much more to do before episode 7 comes out. Thankfully, in 3 weeks from my perspective. So I've got a little bit of leeway. Night, Terry. Night, other person who's still on here, and have a wonderful evening. I appreciate you guys, and hope you found this entertaining, and maybe a little bit informative and fun. Night.